Hello and welcome to another reading vlog, Friday reading vlog from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. She's slumped, what a lovely posture on her. Welcome to Friday. Oh, it's been a week. It's been a real week. I've only been in work 2 days this week. I had a day off. I had to take David to have a mole removed, more on that later. And then I was at a training day on Wednesday, but this week the 2 days in the office were just so busy and so much. I'm looking forward to chilling today, although saying that, there's quite a lot that needs doing. Rewind back to David having that mole removed. David had a mole removed on Tuesday, and forgive me, but they had to go, and I quote, quite deep, which has left him a bit sort of, well, he can't really do much. So it's on his back. He's been told not to exert himself. He's not allowed to pick anything up because it's literally like there, so anything that involves that could split the stitches. There's all sorts of stitches in there. There's external stitches, internal stitches, dissolvable stitches, stitches he's got to have removed. So yeah, it was quite the job. And he's been in pain for 2 days because it's very sore. The dressing fell off yesterday, and he's allowed to shower today. He's been having a little strip wash until now. But yeah, so it's meant David's been a bit discombobulated, would you say, David? And not able to do much. And because David does the majority of all the cleaning in the house is a shithole. So, and he's not allowed, so he can't even like put a load of washing on or anything. So the washing is out of control. I hoovered a little bit yesterday, but had to get back to work for an evening meeting. So yeah, so I'm gonna do some cleaning today. I also need to do some reading because I feel like I haven't done much reading this week. So I need to do some reading and have a little chill out. I need to redo my nails because they're disgusting. I need to wash my hair because that's disgusting. I might have a bath, which would be sad because David's not allowed baths. Would you mind if I had a bath?
Absolutely not, Bob.
Okay.
I want one of us to be able to enjoy a bath.
I've also got to pick up my medication because I haven't had any of my omeprazole for my esophagitis for about 5 days, and I am feeling it. I've got a book at the library that needs collecting. That's a Christmas book. And I've got so many books that I've started reading that I have not finished. So yeah, we're going to have a bit of a mop-up day in terms of reading, cleaning, and just getting a few bits done. And hopefully, by the end of this video, I would have cheered myself up a bit because I'm a bit flat. But like I say, we cheer ourselves up. David has made me a cup of tea this morning. He is able to make me tea. So that's nice. So I'm going to sit in bed and read one of the books that I'm reading at the moment, and we'll get onto all of them at some point. And that's Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell. This is a proof copy. I love this glitter ball. I do not love my nails, but I love the glitter ball. It was out in August. I don't know what the actual front cover looks like. Maybe something with a glitter ball on. It's about 2 people, Shiloh and Carey, who were friends at school, and they've reacquainted again after not seeing each other for 15 years at a dear friend's wedding. And they're, yeah, and I mean that's it so far. So I'm 88 pages in. Like I say, that's it so far. But it says here, a big beaming power ballad of a novel about a love so true it refuses to be forgotten. There we go. It says it's a summer read, but here I am in autumn. So I'm going to read some of this, then we'll get up and have some tea and toast, put a load of washing on, and start. And I've got to clean the bathrooms. Yeah, so it's really going to be a mop-up vlog, getting stuff done. And there ain't no party like an S-Club party. Yes, my friends, that is my autumn cross stitch on the wall up there. I'm actually in between cross stitches. Oh, I feel like I'm really far away. I'm in between cross stitches at the moment. I've been sorting out, and I'm sure I'll get round to showing you this later, mine and David's threads into sort of thread organiser. He got bought one for his birthday from his sister, and we've actually bought one to go alongside with it, and I think it's going to make getting ready to do cross stitches much easier. So yeah, so I'm in between it, but maybe tonight I'd like to watch Little Women tonight. I've got it sort of in my mind that I would like to watch Greta Gerwig's Little Women. And I feel like that's quite a good sort of gateway drug into Christmas films, because it's not a Christmas film, but there's a lot of Christmas going on in it. So maybe we'll watch that tonight, and I'll have a little go at my last year's Christmas cross stitch, although I've got a lot to be getting on with in terms of this year's Christmas cross stitch, because I've got gifts to do. But yeah, anyway, I'm about to have some tea and toast, but I thought I would show you. I thought I had loads of books on the go. I've got 3. I mean, that's still a lot, isn't it? 2 non-fiction, 1 fiction. And I'd really like to get 1 done this weekend. We'll go through maybe in order of which I'm enjoying them. Yeah, let's do that. So, this is a non-fiction book, Why We Sing, by Julia Hollander. And this is my book club pick for my choir book club. It's about singing, which makes sense to be reading this for a choir book club. But I've got about 100 pages left, maybe less than 100 pages left. But oh my God, I'm finding it quite dry, and I wonder how everyone else in book club is finding it as well, because I've got an interest in singing and I'm even finding this dry. So yeah, I will slog on, but I'm finding it so sort of dry that I'm only able to read sort of like 10-20 pages at a time, and then I think no, that's enough. Also, somebody else in choir book club, I got this out from the library, and there's only 1 copy in the library, and somebody else in choir book club has got a reservation on it to read it, so I'm very aware that I need to get it read so that I can get it back to the library so that she can then start reading it. So yeah, it would be nice to get this finished, but like I say, it's a bit of a slog to do it. But maybe will I read it while I'm having my lunch at my breakfast? Maybe, yeah, maybe. Next up, which I'm finding okay, is Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell. I mentioned this briefly this morning. She's about 100 pages in. She's exactly 100 pages in. When I have my bath this morning, I think maybe this is what I'll read when I'm in the bath, because you know me, I don't like reading hardbacks in the bath. And then last of all, which I'm really enjoying, and the front cover is just gorgeous, except it's got a little mark on it. It's 1,000 Feasts by Nigel Slater. Now, I say I'm really enjoying it. I've read 13 pages, which is a few of these. So these are like little moments of joy from Nigel Slater's notebooks. Now, I love Nigel Slater. His book, Christmas Chronicles, is one of my favourite books ever. We had a reading from a Nigel Slater cookbook at our wedding. His writing is just beautiful. So I always knew this was going to be enjoyable. But yeah, there's just something really special about hearing about a moment of joy and that being linked in with food, because that's just all that I love. So I will read some of this at some point as well. This I'm not I'm not desperate to get through it, excuse me. I'm not desperate to get through it because it's such a lovely little thing to dip into. I mean, let me have a little look for you. The next one is called Piper Nigram, and this is on the Malabar coast. I'll just give you an idea of it because it's so gorgeous. I could barely see them at first, then a flash of billowing saffron cloth in the deep green undergrowth. Another, purple this time, then a white headband and a black and beige striped shirt like a humbug. The pepper pickers are 2 meters above my head, balancing on bamboo ladders tied together with raffia, partially hidden by the pepper plant's lush vines. I mean, it's just so evocative, isn't it? I love hearing about it. But yeah, like I said, I'm not desperate to get this finished this weekend. This is going to be a sort of like dip in and out of type thing. I'm also listening to the audiobook of We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. If you've been here before, you may well know that I desperately wanted to like the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I'm a big Richard Osman fan. I love House of Games. I love his podcast. I love how enthused he is about reading and bookshops, and independent bookshops in particular. But I just couldn't get on with that Thursday Murder Club series. I read it once and then I listened to the audiobook and no. So I'm delighted to inform you that I'm enjoying the new series called We Solve Murders. I've only got 5 hours and 38 minutes left. I've listened to 4 hours 56, so I'm not quite halfway through, but yeah, enjoying that. And we'll continue to listen to it at some point. So I think we'll go and have some toast, tea and toast now. I'll make my husband a cup of tea as well. I could make him some toast as well. I've got a load of washing on now. I've got flannels. I'm all out of flannels and hand towels and tea towels on. So that's quite good. I feel that's I've done well with that. And then I'll have a little tidy up in the bedroom. Then I think I'll have a bath, and then I'll go to the library and to pick up my prescription this afternoon. And then we've got the All About the Archers thing this evening. I've got to film another video for book break. Here we go. It's a full day. It's a full day, but we're starting with Why We Sing by Julia. Well, we haven't. We've already started, but I'm going to read a bit of Why We Sing by Julia Hollander whilst I eat my tea and toast. Oh! I've got to do all the other bits at the beginning of the Friday reading vlog. I'm so sorry. Let me go and get them. Wow. Apologies. If you're new here, then you wouldn't have even known that anything was up. But at the beginning of each of these videos, I ask a question, a bookish question, from these lit chat cards, and then we answer it at the end of the video together. I answer it here and you answer it in the questions. Right, okay. The Odyssey. How do you keep track of your reading queue? Name 3 books you have on your list. How do you keep track of your reading queue? Name 3 books you have on your list. I'm looking forward to answering that. I very much enjoy answering questions about TBRs and things like that, so looking forward to doing that. And then at some point in the vlog, we'll be listening to a piece of classical music from A Year of Wonder, and we'll be finishing with a poem from Every Autumn Day. Now I can go and have the tea and toast. Toasted in the toaster, but I've simply got to show you this jar of Marmite that arrived with our shopping. It's got bloody Elton John on it. Look at it. Look at that. I mean, I love it. We're not onto this yet. I've still got yeast extract to use up, but that's absolutely gorgeous. Elton John limited edition. I'm almost loath to use it. It'll be a beautiful thing to have on display. If I can maybe somehow use it and then wash it up, although all us Marmite users know that the Marmite jar gets really sticky, although this one hasn't got that sticky. But yeah, thought you might be interested in seeing it. There it is, my beautiful cross stitch. So I've had a good hour session cleaning the bedroom, which it really needed. I've washed the mattress pad, I've done the dusting, I've sorted the bedside tables, I've put all my clothes away, I've done the mirrors, I've cleaned the light switches, I've done the dressing table. I've done anything else. I haven't hoovered. I hate hoovering. David can't hoover, but I hate hoovering, but I will do it. But yeah, it looks really nice in there. It smells nice too, because I've been spraying it with nice bits. So the sheets are on the wash now. Then I'm going to put those out. I've already done, like I said, the towels and the flannels and everything. I'm just taking my nail varnish off so I can put more on. I'm going to put on the same that I had on before. This is Play It Again in Essence, the Shine Last and Go range. Sadly, Wilkinson's no longer exists in the UK, so you can't get the Essence makeup, which is a shame because it was all cruelty free and vegan, so, and super cheap. I think everything was under £3. So yeah, but I've done no more reading. I didn't even have a bath actually. I had a shower. Oh, I helped David with his little, I put some Vaseline on David's scar to keep it moist. And then I put this on, which is perfect autumnal wear, but it's always quite awkward to wear because it's, I mean, I wouldn't wear this at any other time of the year because look at the print. It's very, very autumnal, but it's short sleeves, and normally it's, you couldn't wear short sleeves in the autumn. So normally I wear a shirt underneath it, but then this collar is a bit low, so it's hard to get the shirt collar over. Anyway, turns out it's 21.5 degrees in my house today. My dad walked by and he said it's really hot out here, and I had a look and apparently it's only 15 outside. But very warm, so I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna paint my nails. It's 12:30 now. The library doesn't open up again until 2. So I'll go there and then go and get my tablets. I still need to film a video for book break. Would like to do a little bit more reading because I didn't do any reading in the bath because I didn't have a bath, and you can't read in the shower. But yeah, for now, let's paint my nails and look nice. And I'll put my audiobook back on.
Hi. No, says Steve.
I've just been moaning to David saying I don't want anything hanging on any doors because that's where we tend to dry our towels, which is, oh, we need to find somewhere good to put our towels. Where do you dry your towels? We don't have any sort of places where we can put put our towels when we're not using them. The towel rail in the bathroom is not big enough. Anyway, so I was saying I don't want anything on any of the doors, but then when you wash the sheets, where are you going to dry them? I mean, it's quite a nice day out today. Maybe they would have dried outside, but here I am putting them on my doors. So yes, going to continue doing that and then decide what to do. Because I've got to do some reading. I've simply got to. Leftover pasta for lunch. So last night, because I had to work last night, we were like, what should we have for dinner? And David had a text in the week. Now, get this. So last weekend it was cozy reading night and we had pizza takeaway from Domino's. We never have takeaway. Keep saying that, don't I? And we had the pizza. It was delicious. And then David got a text in the week saying, oh, we're so sorry that your pizza wasn't up to scratch. And that it was late. We didn't notice it was late. But here's a free pizza. And gave us a code for a free pizza. Which we were delighted about, but didn't expect it. Anyway, last night, all in a rush, David said, why don't we just have that pizza for dinner tonight? And I can order it while you're on the way back from work and then you can have it. So we went to order it. Well, it wasn't a free pizza at all. It was like, you get a free pizza if you spend this much money, which is very cheeky. And we didn't want to spend more money on pizza. We were only going to take the pizza if it was free. So we did not have the free pizza last night. So in a panic, because we didn't really have anything in, we made pasta from what was in. So I had a pasta sauce, and then we had some leftover mushrooms, a leek, some frozen spinach and some frozen peas, and we made this pasta. Well, David made it, and it was delicious. And I'm going to heat up the remainders now and have that for my lunch. Leftovers. I've moved my chair because I'm going to film on it shortly. It's a bit in the way. Right, I'm going to read Why We Sing just for a little bit more, just to get to page, I think just to get to, oh, well, I'm on page 284, that's quite high. Page 284, hiya. And I'm going to read till page 300, and then that's it, done for the day. 300? We'll get to the end of that maybe. Get to the end of chapter 13. Get to the beginning of chapter 13, maybe I'll do that. Here's the pasta. Here's the water. Keep drinking water. I need to keep drinking water. And let's get on. Hi. I've had a little thought. So I'm going to the library to pick up a Christmas book, and we are quickly marching towards winter reading and Christmas reading. And I'm sort of hanging on to these books that I got all out from the library, and whether or not I'm actually going to be able to read them before I get to the Christmas reading. This is my, I mean, here's a spoiler for the answer for the question a bit later on, but this is my autumn TBR. So come the end of this, it'll be the end of November and I'll be reading Christmas books. So the books I've got from the library are This Motherless Land by Nikki May, This Love by Lottie Jeffs, they don't all start with the word this, Queen Bee by Juno Dawson, Hey Zoe by Sarah Crossan, Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson, Bellies by Niccolo, and then the choir book that I'm reading. So I think maybe if I have a little think about what I'm actually going to realistically read before Christmas, because otherwise I'm just going to be renewing these and not getting them read, and there may be other people who want to read them. So I don't think I'm going to get to Bellies by Niccolo. I don't think I'm going to get to Pineapple Street by Jenny Jackson. I really would like to read Hey Zoe by Sarah Crossan. I really enjoy Sarah Crossan books, and I'd really like to read Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. I've had a few people say that the audiobook's a bit confusing, so I think maybe, I mean, this isn't even that much of a long one. Maybe I will read that next week in Friday reading vlog, but yeah, we'll hang on to that. This Love by Lottie Jeffs, I think I'll get rid of, Lottie Jeffs, I think I'll get rid of that. And This Motherless Land, I'm going to hang on to it because I'd like to get that read. So there we go. So we're taking back 3 today and picking up 1. And that makes a bit more sense to have less books here when other people could be reading them rather than just hanging on to them. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm struggling to know what to wear over the top of this. I've just remembered that my husband David's got a really nice yellow shacket that I might borrow. I bought this for him a couple of Christmases ago from a sustainable brand called Far Afield. Oh yeah, that actually looks quite nice. But does this not fit you, David? Is that why you don't wear it?
It's a bit tight.
It's a bit tight on him.
Yeah, I probably can't wear it at the minute. Because of my current weight.
Well, it looks really nice on me. so maybe it's something I might be cracking out. It's a very nice weight in terms of like shacket. It's a nice, and the brown buttons are lovely. Well, there we go. That's decided. Right, okay, I've got my bag. Gonna go to the library, go to the pharmacy. We'll be back within the hour, for sure. So I had to pick up one book called The Merriest Misters by Timothy Janowski. And then they had, on the new books in shelf, they had 2 more Christmas books.
So maybe...
And both look as queer as anything.
Okay.
Make this, as well as Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. And Make My Wish Come True by Rachel Lippincott and Alison Derrick.
Exciting.
Christmas. Oh my God, it's so hot in it. Are you not boiling, David?
Oh, lovely.
I'm boiling. There's a little girl there. Are you boiling? Unresponsive. Right. I'm going to finish reading my pages for Why We Sing. Like I said, I wanted to get to the end of that chapter. So, another 23 pages. And then we're good to go with maybe a nice big glass of water. You've got quite the moody lighting on you, Daphne. There's just, it's the light coming through the window. I'm going to get you. This is very scary, isn't it? She absolutely loves the chair there. She loses her mind over it being there. She never sits in it when it's in its normal place. But it's quite nice to have it there, but it won't stay there for this evening because there will be cross stitch this evening. Now, I'm going to prep dinner now, so that David doesn't have all that much to do when I'm on... What else do I need? The cheese. When I'm on the call. Well, I might just have a little baby bell just to keep things ticking over. So tonight for dinner we're having something that we've had out of the green roasting tin many times, and this time I don't even really look at the recipe anymore because I've just made it so much. So it's basically, it's as easy as getting yourself some puff pastry, getting yourself any sort of cheese you might like. I've got dolce latte, which is the cheese that is used in the original recipe, and then getting yourself some sort of veg. I've gone for purple carrots because they were sent to me in my veg box earlier this week. Layering them on then. This cheese is so good. And then putting them in the oven. And then we're going to serve that with some roast potatoes and a bit of crispy cow. I've never done crispy cow before, and we've got a sort of first gen air fryer there that I'm going to do it in. Apparently it's very easy, so we'll see. I'm going to get cracking on it. God, that cheese was good. So put the oven on. Get me audiobook. And I'll show you how everything looks.
Okay.
All about the archers.
Oh man.
Plus a roast potato. I forgot to show you the dinner, but it was lovely, wasn't it? Apart from the kale. We didn't like the crispy cow. David said it tastes like an ashtray. Also, David, while we were doing the Archers event, they saw you walking out on the mirror a few times. They said you were just like, boop, 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 boop. It's very cute. So yeah, dinner's eaten. The Archers event is now completed. I'm going to take my t-shirt off. I've been so warm all day today. And my earrings, where they were under my headphones, they were just getting so warm and warm. Now, we're going to carry on watching Gavin and Stacey, because we've been watching, or we could watch Gogglebox. Maybe a bit of both. And I'm going to do a bit of thread sorting, because it would be nice to get all of the thread sorted. And yeah, we're going to carry on with that. And that's the evening. So I'll probably see you tomorrow. Say bye, David.
Bye.
Good morning. It's Sunday. We skipped a whole day. I mean, it was a lovely day, but lots of non-filming could happen. So yesterday, during the day, I just sort of went hard and cleaned our ensuite, which was lovely. It felt lovely afterwards. And then also did a bit of cross stitch. And then in the evening, we went to watch my niece in her dance show. I mean, she's only 5. It was so So cute. She did a little ballet number to You'll Be In My Heart from Tarzan. Oh my God, I was crying. It was adorable. And we went out for dinner beforehand to the Giggling Squid, me, David and my mum. And that was very nice as well. So then we got home and watched Strictly and loved Montel and Johannes, by the way, they were my fave. So today we're going to film a little bit more. On the agenda for today, first thing, I don't know if I've mentioned, I think I have, is that all of my pyjamas are literally on death's door. They're either covered in holes, the elastic's gone, or just falling apart. They're all very, very old, so they're all super comfy because they're so thin and like really thin. But yeah, these last night, I was walking around. These are from ASOS. These aren't, my sister bought me that. No, I bought these for myself during lockdown. So these ones aren't even the oldest ones I've got, but the elastic is gone, and when I'm walking around, they keep falling off. And also last night when I was in bed, they fell off because the elastic is just so gone. So that's number one job to do today, is to sadly get rid of these pyjamas because they're not fit for purpose anymore. I'd also like to do a little bit of cleaning. Maybe in David's office. David has been not really able to do much this week because he had a mole removed and he's not allowed to exert himself. So he's normally the hooverer and the doer of a few bits. And his office is a bit of a mess. So I'm going to make that nice for him so that when he's working in it there this week, he can have a nice time there. Carry on with my Christmas cross stitch, which I'm yet to show you. It's last year's Christmas cross stitch, but I'd like to get that done before I actually start on some Christmas gift cross stitches. We've been rewatching Gavin and Stacey and having a nice time doing that. And probably carry on watching that. We are booked in to go and watch Hocus Pocus at the cinema this afternoon, but if I'm being honest, I just don't know if I can be bothered to go. I'm not, I mean, Hocus Pocus is fine, but I don't know if I want to go to the cinema to watch Hocus Pocus. I'm also going to the cinema tomorrow night as well, so double cinema. I'm going to watch My Old Ass tomorrow night with my friends, so that'll be nice. And I've also got to edit a What I Ate in a Day video that I filmed on Tuesday this week. That's supposed to go up today, so she's going to be busy enough. And I absolutely need to finish. Well, I said at least one book, but this is the book I want to finish. This is Why We Sing. I did no reading at all yesterday. That's not true. I listened to my audiobook while I was doing the cleaning. I'm on page 330 of this, and it finishes on page 350. So I've got 20 pages. So I think what I'll do for now is sit and drink and read. Under a blanket on the sofa. Nice. I finished Why We Sing. I had a little cat on my lap while I finished it, so that was quite nice. You can see I've still got those big trousers on. Yeah, by Julia Hollander. I'm in a choir. So this is a choir book club book that we're reading. So I can absolutely attest to like all of the ways that my life has improved since joining a choir. It's a lovely thing. But this book, I think, was a little bit long and a little bit dry. And maybe a little bit preachy, but sort of quite aware of preachiness. But yeah, it didn't do all that much for me, and it felt like a bit of a slog. So not for me, but can agree, choirs equals good. So that's that. Now, these are the two books that are left. Very much enjoying Nigel Slater, 1,000 Feasts. It's a lovely thing to sort of sit down. Oh God, the next bit's about pickled food, so I'm going to be very into that. But Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell, I mean, I've read 104 pages. I think I might give up on it. It's a bit slow for a book called Slow Dance. It's about a couple, but and they're meeting in later life, even though they were together. Not a couple, like about two people. I just don't think I'm invested in them. So when I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, it feels a bit boring. So I think I'm going to sit and read this for a little bit about the pickling, and then have some breakfast. Hi. I'm gonna get in the bath. Bit sad because David can't have a bath, but will you be okay?
I'll be absolutely fine.
I was considering not
I'm over it.
I was considering not having a bath so that I wouldn't feel so bad. Oh, the time is about to go. Anyway, I'm about to pick up a book and it needs to be a paperback. Can I pick it by the time the timer goes? What shall I go for? Redwall by Brian Jacks, A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. The Parasites by Daphne du Maurier. Let's try The Parasites by Daphne du Maurier. Or Redwall. I really want to read Redwall as well. Redwall's quite big though. Redwall. I have not cleaned the office like I planned to. I said to David, I really want to get out and go for a walk, and we went for a walk along the beach. And then I'd messaged my sister saying, does anyone want to meet us out for a walk? She said no, because they were too cosy. But did we want to pop round for a cup of tea? So we did. And my niece did us these. They're called Colour Monsters, and pink means love.
Oh no, green is calm.
Green is calm. So she had a green one on the wall, and I said, I love that.
There's a bit of red on one of them.
So
for anger.
there's a little bit of red on this one for anger. And originally she did that one and said, oh, that one's for David. And then halfway through doing this one, she was like, actually, that other one's for you, Lauren, and this one's for David, because she loves David the most. But these are adorable. So we will put these. Can we chuck old stuff? Yeah. Chuck old stuff. Shut that. And shut that. And look, we've got a couple of love monsters.
What about that one underneath there?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Sorry, niece.
Do you know what though? She'll know. She'll say, where have my drawings gone?
I'll just say we put them in storage.
Yeah, there we go. So we got those. And we also popped to the shop.
Don't ever show this video.
And bought a new expanding file.
Yeah.
David's been meaning to get one for a very long time.
Oh my God, for like
and we've been looking in
this
B&M
year.
and they've not had them.
It's to put our important grown-up boring things in.
Oh, grown-up documents.
Like car tax and tax.
You do that.
And just taxi bits.
Taxi bits. Also, I had to wear a hat because my ears were getting big. David bought himself a bag of crisps. They're not even good crisps.
They are nice crisps.
Oh, are they? And then I also bought some peppercorns. Some cream cheese, because I've been enjoying cream cheese on a cracker with something else. There's David's Nan's cross stitch that he's done for her birthday. Isn't that lovely? Don't look at me, look at that. Gorgeous, isn't it? And then I bought some bits to make. A couple of weeks ago I made pickled tomatoes, and it was so lovely. Oh, and I finally got myself one of these to put my homemade candle on. This was 80p in the pound shop, and I've been wanting one for ages, so I'm very, very pleased to find one. When I was looking online, you can only buy like packs of 10. I was like, I do not need 10, I need one. So I'm very delighted to buy that. I will show you the candle on that shortly. But yeah, let's get undressed. I've still got editing to do. I've also got, this is Snort, and he normally lives at my house, and he found his way back to my niece's house, and my sister gave it to me and said take him back. And then 2 cookies left over. So yeah, I've made this scarf. Did I tell you that? I made it at a craft club. I'm very pleased with it. It's very warm as well. Temperature's dropped, doesn't it, David?
Yeah, it has. It's lovely.
Do I want to edit the food video first? Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I'll do that, then I'll make dinner. Although I want to do my tomatoes. Oh, there's so much stuff to do. I'll edit. While that's uploaded, I'll do the tomatoes, and then I'll wrap this whole thing up because we need to get to the end of it at some point, don't we? Good morning. You'll never believe this. It's the following Friday. So I think this is the first time I've done this. But I'm going to merge 2 Friday reading vlogs together. Because last Friday reading vlog, I feel like it was a bit sporadic. But this Friday reading vlog, we can bulk it out and there'll be 2 Friday reading vlogs. And I don't think I've ever done that before. Done 2 Friday reading vlogs on the bounce. And people keep telling me that they really like videos that are over an hour. So potentially this could be over an hour. So I'm just doing the little check-in on Friday morning of what the plans are in terms of reading. I just wanted to remind myself of the question that I picked out last Friday, because that'll be the question we are still answering at the end of this video. I've set myself a bit of a challenge for today. So it's Friday, I don't know what time it is, about 9:45. And I've just got up, had no breakfast yet. We'll have a sort of brunchy type thing, probably scrambled eggs. But I've got to go to the library today because I've got books that are due back. Now my library, I believe on a Friday, closes at 5. So I've got until, well, I want to walk down there, so sort of 4 o'clock-ish. I've got one book to return, and then some have been renewed too many times, and one that I would like to get read today, itchy ear, one that I'd like to get read today so that it can be returned, and then I've read it because I've been looking forward to reading this. Got the audiobook, didn't necessarily get on with the audiobook, which is unusual because I love the audiobook of this series. Anyway, it's Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. This is the prequel to the HMRC series, and this is about Anne Boleyn and her court. Now, as you can see, it's thin. There's not much of it. 168 pages. And I would like to have this read today so I can return it today. Doesn't often happen that I sit and read a book in a day, but that's what I'm going to do. Actually, looking at it, I think it's also got, yeah, it's also got illustrations in. So it's, oh, that might just be the one illustration. It is just the one illustration. Oh, that's misleading. Yeah, there's only just one illustration. Oh no, there's another one there. Oh, looks scary, that one there. But yeah, so I would like to get this read today by 4 o'clock so that I can return it and then it's done, because I was so looking forward to this and just haven't prioritised it, so I need to prioritise it. And then the other books that I'm reading are The Silent House by Nell Patterson. I've got less than 100 pages of that left. That's our Patreon book club book for Sunday. The theme this month was death representation. Hello, Debbie. And we'll be discussing that on Sunday. I'm also reading and really enjoying Redwall by Brian Jacks. I think this is where the vlog ended, like when I ended it before. I was like going to get in the bath and I was trying to pick what book to pick, and I picked this one. So yeah, I'm like 200 and something pages in, 222 pages in. I'm having a good time. It's very sort of action-packed in that we're following a young mouse called Matthias, and he lives in Redwall Abbey, and a nasty rat called Clooney and his sort of, what would I call them? Like henchmen are trying to attack the abbey, and this basically focuses on that with like little inserts of like lovely little meals they're having or nice little times they're having at the abbey. So we'll continue with that. And then I'm also having a lovely time. I really am having a lovely time with my books at the moment. A Thousand Feasts by Nigel Slater. I'm in a sort of situation where I don't really want either of these to end because they're just such a nice place to be in. And this is excerpts from Nigel Slater's notebooks of meals he's eaten, things he's eaten, and just lovely times. And he says early on in the book that they're all sort of joyful times. So it really is lovely. I mean, his writing is amazing. And quite often I just have to sort of like stop and read bits out to David. And the other night I read this bit out, and I'll read it out to you now because I just loved it. For someone who doesn't even drink booze, this sounded amazing. So this is A Cocktail by the Fire, Lapland. So a lot of the little excerpts start with whereabouts, like what he's eating or drinking and whereabouts he is. In Lapland, snow falling, curled up on the sofa by a blazing fire, I am offered the cocktail menu. Espresso flavoured vodka, sweetgrass and mushroom. Vodka, birch and lemon. Lingonberry vodka, baby spruce and rose. Islay single malt and cloudberry. Lingonberry, spruce and elderflower. I'm not much of a cocktail drinker, but I do love a menu with a sense of place. So I sit and sip notes of fresh green spruce with garnet red berries in the light of the fire, the colours glowing like sunlight through a stained glass window. I mean, stop it. So yeah, having a lovely time with that. So those are the other books. But like I said, priority is Queen Bee. So I think I'll sit and read a little bit before I then go and... Should I make a cup of tea?
Yeah.
That's David saying yes. I think I'll make a cup of tea. And then sit and read maybe like 20, 30 pages of it just to get in. And then we've done over 10% already. So yeah, that's the plan for today. And we're going to a craft fair tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, I'm very much enjoying this. I'm only 28 pages in. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. I mean, if you've been here a while, you'll know that I've got a sort of interest in the Tudor wives, King Henry VIII's wives, after watching the musical Six and reading all of Alison Weir's books, which are called The Six Tudor Wives, and is a big book, sort of fictionalised version of Henry VIII's Six Wives' lives, which I really enjoyed. And I read those a couple of years ago. and had a lovely time doing that. So yeah, this is a joy really. Further fictionalised obviously, because there's sort of like witchy themes and stuff, but yeah, we're finding out about Anne's coven, and we're hearing about this from the point of view of Lady Grace Fairfax. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna go and make some scrambled egg on toast now. I made yesterday a chocolate orange chocolate orange bread and butter pudding. We had our friend round for dinner and it was lovely. So I used 3 egg yolks to make the sort of custard that you put on the bread and butter pudding. So I've got egg whites to use up, and because I've been working my way through my cookbook, I'll show you in a bit, I've been making quite a lot of scrambled egg with egg whites that are left over from the custard that I've been making for the bread and butter pudding, and my scrambled egg has never been better. So I'm feeling very pleased with myself about that. So hopefully today's will be good as well. And then, as I said, we're going to this craft fair tomorrow, and then we're going to my mum and dad's for dinner in the evening, and I might make the next bread and butter pudding. I'll show you it. I think it's called like sticky toffee pudding, sticky toffee pudding, bread and butter pudding, with dates and stuff on it. So yeah, I might make that for tomorrow. Just wanted to remind myself of the question we were answering today. How do you keep track of your reading queue? Name 3 books you have on your list. That's the question I'm going to answer at the end of this video. It feels a bit warm today, you know. Very warm. But yeah, let's go make some breakfast because I'm feeling quite hungry. And then we'll read a bit more. Queen Bee, 28 pages in. She's got dressed and she's got a new t-shirt on, David.
Lovely.
It's got a pack of crisps on it. I actually, my hair's a big frizz. I got it sent to me from Faber, the publishers, because they sent me this book. You wouldn't mind well have seen it in a book haul. Crunch, an Ode to Crisps by Natalie Whittle. The end papers are so special because they look like the inside of a pack of crisps. I'm very excited about this book, and around this sort of time of year, I start courting the idea of what book I'm going to read in between Christmas and New Year. Betwixtmas, probably my favourite time of year. I mean, I love Christmas, but Betwixtmas, those sort of quiet days where there's loads of leftovers and you haven't really got all that much to do, and you can go for walks in your new coat and...
Stop it.
And yeah, we just have a lovely time. And I normally do quite a lot of reading on those days. And it normally starts sort of Boxing Day evening when I get home from whatever family house we've been at, or if people have been here, they've gone home, and I have a lovely quiet bath and then think about the book that I'm going to start to kick off Betwixtmas. And Crunch, an Ode to Crisps, that's quite far up there. That's the only one I've sort of thought about so far, but as I get them, as I start thinking about it, I'll let you know if there's others. I mean, I may well get books for my birthday and Christmas that may well also go on that list, but yeah, at the moment I'm thinking Crunch would be a very good fun book to read, and especially as I've got the t-shirt for it. I'm going to remove my nail varnish because it's disgusting and paint my nails. I'm doing very well with Queen Bee. I'm up to page, let me tell you. I'm really enjoying it, 68. So yeah, I will continue. There's not all that much Anne in here because we're hearing about it from the point of view of someone, one of the ladies in waiting, chamber ladies I think they're called Grace Fairfax, and this sort of all kicks off after Anne has been beheaded, but we do get some flashbacks and she appears in those. But yeah, it's not quite what I thought it was going to be, but I'm really enjoying it. So, and if all goes well, I will definitely be able to hand this back to the library today. I might bring my sister and ask if she wants to walk down to the library with me at about 3ish, and that would potentially give me more of a deadline to get to. But at the moment, priority is get this horrible nail varnish off, because look at these. And paint it with Autumn Colour Ginger by Barry M. The jelly ones, they're the best ones, aren't they? Right, crack on. I'm just making myself a little snacker. Now, I did have scrambled egg on toast for breakfast, which is quite a big breakfast. So I think for lunch I'm just going to have a series of oat cakes with various toppings on. All of those toppings are based in cream cheese. What do you think about it?
Toppings.
Toppings. But I've also got some beetroot kimchi to go on top of it, some crispy onions, and I've been making, well, you might well have seen me make these pickled tomatoes, which are lovely. So that's the deal. What's happening over there, David? He's just dropped a big pot of coleslaw, and the good news is that he can't bend over, so I've got to do it.
No, I shouldn't bend down.
No, turn around, because I think your thing's weeping a bit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it really is.
Oh. This is nice for...
Well, I don't know if it is or if it's just the Vaseline.
Might be the Vaseline.
Anyway, I better get on with cleaning up the... I better get on with cleaning up this. And maybe I'll see you when I'm eating my crackers if I get a chance to. That's it. Coleslaw is such a rank thing to clean up as well, isn't it?
I didn't do it on purpose.
The toppings. So that's a little bit of pecorino with some onion on top. This is the beetroot kimchi, it's delicious. And then these are the pickled tomatoes I've got with some of the lightly pickled, I should say. And then I'm going to read this. Nice. Finished! God, it's been a really long time since I finished a book in a day. I really enjoyed reading it all in one sitting. And yeah, it sort of felt like a book that deserved to be read in one sitting as well. I can understand now why I was potentially a bit confused listening to the audiobook, and that's because it does sort of flick back and forth between times, sort of before Anne and after Anne, and maybe that might have been a little bit confusing to me because I did start listening to the audiobook when it first came out. But yeah, I really enjoyed the sort of insertion of a bit of artwork as well, which felt I've not seen in the other HMRC books. No. But yeah, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to review it now. David's at Morrison's getting some veg to go with our dinner for tonight, and then we're going to walk down to the library and I can return this and the choir book that I finished last week, Why We Sing. I've got nothing to pick up, but yeah, it's nice to get outside and drop this off. So I'm going to review it now, and then hopefully I will finish my Christmas cross stitch today, which would be so exciting. And then I need to get this framed and get this on the wall come Christmas. Very, very proud of myself. This was like 2 years work because I started it. I bought the stitch along last year, didn't finish it in time for Christmas. So yeah, it'd be really cool if I could get it done today, maybe. Anyway, to review the book. Oh, it's a bit of a hill on the way back from the library. And it's not like gonna kill you, but it does get you warm, and I had a jumper on, so I felt quite warm. I only got one book from the library. I got The Biggest Christmas Secret Ever by L.D. Lipinski, which looks quite good. And it's about Harper and Will, who suspect that their stepdad, Nick, is maybe Father Christmas. And it just looked very fun. And it started, the first page, I read it in there, it was very funny. There aren't many people who can burp to the tune of Jingle Bells, but my brother somehow managed it. He even took a bow when he got to the end. And then the thing that the mum says makes me laugh. Me and Mum stared at him, our expressions somewhere between horrified and impressed. So that's what you learn instead of your GCSE French verbs, Mum said after a moment. Yeah, it just sounds like it'd be quite good fun. So there we go, that go on the pile. Hopefully I'll be able to hang on to it until Christmas. See if a reservation gets put on it, I'll have to take it back. So yeah, back now. Something that I asked about on Instagram was, what are people's favourite films that feel wintry or feel Christmassy but aren't Christmas films? And I got a list of over 50 films. The ones I mentioned were Little Women, which I think we might watch tonight. Also The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And lots of people got back to me with other ones. Lots of people got back to me and said The Holdovers. A lot of people got back to me and said You've Got Mail. David and I watched that a few years ago, we didn't like it. Bridget Jones' Diary, which is another one of my faves. When Harry Met Sally, that's very autumnal, isn't it? While You Were Sleeping, I've never watched. Plane, Trains and Automobiles used to be one of my faves when I was younger. David's never seen it. Catch Me If You Can, which I remember watching at the cinema and thinking it was rubbish when it came out, but I'm sure thoughts have changed now. Lots of people said Die Hard. Carol, that's another one on my list that I want to watch. Stardust, that's a great shout. Edward Scissorhands, that got a few votes. So yeah, so I need to do something with those because a lot of people said, oh, can you share the results? So I might do an Instagram post now sharing those results. And I was also thinking about doing some sort of like little film club that if you watch 10 of these between now and the 1st of December, I could do something, but I don't know what that something is. But yeah, I thought it would be cool to earn some little stamps or something. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna do something with it now. Oh, got to put the roast potatoes on at some point. Nice. The evening is over. It's midnight. We have done so much telly watching. We've watched today's episode of House of Games. We've watched 2 episodes of Rivals on Disney Plus, which by the way we're really enjoying. I'm eating my Jilly Cooper words from earlier on this year. I maintain that when I read Tackle it was crap, but this TV series of Rivals, is it called Rivals? Rivals. It's absolutely, no, because she's got a book called Riders.
Ow.
It's fantastic. Like, it's cast perfectly and it's just so indulgent and wonderful. So we've watched 2 episodes of that. We also watched Little Women, the Greta Gerwig film, which it is my favourite film, guys. It's my favourite film. And I loved it and I cried. Like, I was crying from about 5 minutes in, really. It's just so perfect. And I love the way it's told, where it sort of just is all over the place. I really, really love that. And then we watched Graham Norton, because Paul Mescal was on it, and Saoirse Ronan was on it, and we'd only just seen her on Little Women. Did I put any Vaseline on your back at all today?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, and I've also, because now we have started the Christmas presents. So this is the beginning of, this is a very small little thing that I'm making, because I'm involved in a secret Santa at work with a group of old ladies, and I mean old ladies. These are in like their 90s, 80s and 90s, these old ladies. And you can spend up to £5. And I thought I'd do a lovely little cross stitch, which is in the middle. So this is supposed to be on a card, but I'm going to put it in a frame. And it says Joy to the World. And yeah, it's on this glittery Ada, which is just amazing. I think it's going to be really nice. And my nan was an old lady. She died at 81. She'd be 90 now.
Would she?
Yeah.
Wow, my nan.
And she loved purple and lilac. And this was the pattern that had purple and lilac, and I just think it's going to be really lovely. So yes, that is the first of my Christmas presents that I'm starting on now. And then I need to get started on, I'm doing a little initial with a little Christmas animal next to it for all the children I know. Normally I buy them books, but I thought this year I've got hold of quite a lot of, well, they're this size. This is the one that I've done for David. So in Cross Stitcher magazine, they always have a little alphabet. Look, you can tell she hasn't ironed that out. They always have a little alphabet, and this was the Halloween alphabet, and I did D for David. You might have seen me show these before, but the current alphabet is little animals with like wrapped up presents, and I thought they'd be really great for the kids. So yeah, so I've got, God, let me work out how many of those I've got to do. So that's 10 for the children I know, not including my niece. And then I'm potentially going to do it for the people at work as well. Not their children, they're actual people. And there's 11 of them. So yeah, she's gonna be busy. But yeah, when I was doing that before, I bashed one of those out in an evening, so I'll have plenty of time to do those. And I just love doing them and watching telly and listening to audiobooks. Anyway, that's the end of that now. So I'm gonna go to bed. And then we've got to be up relatively early. We're going to 2 like craft markets tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. And then we're having dinner at my mum and dad's, which will be nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm really hot. I think it's because I've got socks on. But I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Good day to you. Just closing the door because my husband David is watching the new series of Show Trial, and will not want to be disrupted. Let me eat some of these pickled cucumbers I made earlier to go in my bagel with cream cheese. Very nice. The day's begun. It's 2:10. Going to my parents for dinner tonight. And I'm going to make a sticky toffee brioche pudding from, you guessed it, Sweet Raisin Tin. That's how far through we are, guys. This is on page 138. And the last recipe is on 218. We've done very well. Sticky toffee brioche pudding. Did you know you can buy a sliced brioche loaf nowadays? I did not know that. So I'm going to prep it, which apparently only takes 10 minutes, and then take it to my mum's and cook it there. We went to the craft shows this morning. Didn't buy anything. Lots of local crafters, including somebody I bought pottery from before. It was very good. I bought pottery for myself and for my mum. And a lot of people that get sea glass from the beach around here and then make it into jewellery or ornaments and stuff like that. But also, sadly, stalls selling sort of crap really, like pens and like a lot of plasticky stuff, which is a shame. Because they'd worked hard, I think, to pull it together, but then there was also just stalls selling sort of crap, so yeah. David was like, oh, maybe I'll get a stall next Christmas and sell some of my cross stitch. And I said, what, all 3 pieces that you spend the whole year making? He's doing very well on his current piece that he's making for his sisters for Christmas. Yeah. Anyway, what you need for this is 3 medium range egg yolks. Hopefully none of them split because I've only got 3 eggs. And last time one did split. 50ml of date syrup. Here we are with the date syrup. 300ml of single cream, 200ml of whole milk, 400g sliced or torn brioche, and 250g of soft pitted dates. Oh bloody hell, we don't even need sugar for this one. There we go. That's what the date syrup does, I assume. And then I'm going to make it in my trusted bread and butter tray, bread and butter tray, which is a cast iron pot that I bought in the New Year's sale. Get in Asda, and I think it's about £5, but it does me perfectly for bread and butter puddings. Also, I did roast potatoes in this yesterday. It's just very good. I would highly advertise and recommend getting yourself cast iron, because it can go on the hob and it can go in the oven, and it cleans up quite nice as well. Well, this one certainly does. I've got to feel it was like a £5. It's so heavy. There we go. So I guess we get going with this. Done! Oh my god, I mean this is heavy before, but now it's really heavy. So there we go. And I just sort of mashed it down. I feel like I've become quite the bread and butter pudding. I used to think bread and butter pudding was like this big massive thing that took so long to make, but actually, especially things like this, arrange the slice or torn brioche. Well, literally, you saw me just tearing it off and putting it in there. So here we go. We've only got one more bread and butter pudding left. Bread and butter pudding. Next time we'll be making pistachio pan au chocolat pudding. Also, there's really, because a lot of the work is done in terms of the sweetness of the bread or whatever, there's not that many ingredients. So yeah, and then we're on to the minimal baking section, which to be honest, I wish had sort of happened in the summer. Anyway, this will take 25 to 30 minutes, and we're probably serving it with custard. So I'm going to put it in the oven. No, not putting it in the oven. I'm going to put it in the fridge so that it just sort of sets a bit, so it's not going to be too sloppy when I take it to my mum's. Yeah, and then I'm going to have a little tidy up in here, and then it's 2:30, so we've got to leave in about an hour. And I shall leave in about an hour. Good morning. I'm very far away from you. Now chop my head off, just can't get that angle right. Welcome to Sunday. Had a lovely day yesterday, didn't we, David?
We did.
Lovely dinner at my mum and dad's. Watched all the Saturday night telly with my niece, which was really nice because she was well into it. Picture Slam, great. Strictly, and then The Wheel. What's your favourite out of those 3?
Oh, probably Picture Slam.
David loves Picture Slam. And then when we got back, we both thought it was like midnight, and it wasn't, it was 10:30. So I laid in bed and read for an hour and a half, which was really nice because I finished The Silent House by Neil Patterson, which is the book we're reading for Patreon Book Club today. My alarm's going off saying it's 10 o'clock, but David, it's not. It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Because the clocks have gone back. And then I read a bit more of Redwall, and I've just read a little bit of Redwall this morning. But yeah, I thought I'd wrap up. I thought I'd wrap up because I need to edit this video and get it out today. But I haven't got any of my stuff with me. The first thing I want to do, don't I, is listen to a bit of classical music. And what I normally do when I listen to a bit of classical music is do a little bit of cross stitch. So let me get all of those bits together and I'll meet you back here, yeah? David, I'll meet you back here?
Yeah.
I've got all my bits. piece of classical music from today is, what's even the date, guys? The 27th of October. 1 month till my birthday, David. Exciting. Is Cantabile in D major, Op 17 by Niccolo Paganini, who lived between 1782 and 1840. Back in April. One thing, because I don't read this every day, that feels quite disjointed to me every time I read that when it says, oh yeah, back in April. Anyway. We have encountered the Italian composer Niccolo Paganini, who had a reputation for being the king of virtuoso violin fireworks. And he was so protective over his technical trickery, in fact, so determined not to give away the violinistic secrets that made his name, that he allowed hardly any of his works to be published in his lifetime. 10 years after he died, a handful of pieces were printed, but it was not until the 1920s that authorities in his hometown of Genoa, which had been sitting on stacks of manuscripts, finally released a comprehensive collection of his compositions. What that collection revealed was that Paganini, who was born on this day, had so much more to him as a composer than mere surface pyrotechnics, for which he was intentionally famous. Here was music with real heart and soul. It also seemed to indicate, a touch ironically, that the music he preferred to play in private was generally a lot more chilled out than the stuff he produced for his awe-inspired public. I love the aura and warmth and intimacy, for example, in this Cantabile, which means singing. It was almost certainly written for Paganini to play at home, behind closed doors, with a friend. Well, anything that's described as warmth, I'm up for. Wouldn't you say, David?
Oh yeah, we love a bit of warmth.
Cantabile. Cantabile. There we go. It's 4 minutes long. Let's do some cross stitch, shall we? That was lovely. And I think that description of it maybe being something that somebody might have played at home with friends was very accurate and great, because it had sort of like different flourishes in it that sort of sounded like maybe someone warming up or something. It was a bit like that type of thing. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right. The question was, how do you keep track of your reading queue? Name 3 books you have on your list. So I sort of nowadays do a very gentle, TBR. So I used to film TBR videos at the top of every video. At the top of every month, where I would talk about the books that I plan to read that month. There might be book club books, there might be books that I've got interested in doing them, and I haven't done TBRs this month. I've done an autumn TBR, and I've done maybe like if I was going away on holiday TBR, but I haven't done monthly TBRs. I can't really remember why I didn't do that, but I didn't. But now, this top shelf in my reading trolley is the TBR. So those books there were books that I had picked out because I wanted to read them in autumn. Autumn, to me, comes to an end on the 30th of November, because then I start reading Christmas books. So I can give you more than 3 books on there, I can tell you. So I've got the whole of the Anne of Green Gables series. I wanted to get those read by the end of autumn. I don't think it's going to happen. But I might listen to the first one in the series that I've got on Audible, which is Rachel McAdams narrating it. It's lovely. Then I've got Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore in this month, October, and I'm really looking forward to reading that one in November. It's not my bag at all, but I've really become quite into it. I've got Verona in Autumn. It's got the word autumn in there. I've got The Parasites by Daphne du Maurier. I've got A Snowfall of Silver, which I'm going to read next month. And I picked that because it won the first line battle when I was doing the blue books. But it looks a little bit more wintry, so that's why I've sort of earmarked that for November. Oh, my light's going. I've got The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I've wanted to reread that for a long time. I've got Private Rights by Julia Armfield. I think I might knock that to next year, because for a reason that I can't go into here. I've got Silver Sparrow by Tiari Jones, which is our November book club book for Patreon Book Club. I've got When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit, because it just feels cosy to me. And I've got North and South, again, one I've wanted to read for a long time, and I thought it would be a good time to read it. Then I've got Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I've read that before, but I wanted to read it again so I could get into the series, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then I've got The Mad Ship by Robin Hobb, which is the second book in the Live Ship Traders series. And I'm trying to work my way through the Robin Hobb books, and that was the sort of where I wanted to be come the end of November. I don't know if that's going to happen. I've still got the last book in the Assassin's Apprentice one to read. Then I've got to read the first book in that series, and they're all massive, so I don't think I'm going to be there either. But yeah, that's my autumn TBR. Let me know what books, let me answer for me. How do you keep track of your reading queue? Name 3 books you have on your list. I'm going to change my battery just before I read you the poem. I'll find the poem first for the 27th, and then I'll change the battery. Paper Boats by Rabindranath Tagore, or From Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. Oh, I think I might go for Paper Boats. Right, let's go and change this battery. Battery changed. Poem, here we go. Well, the blurb before the poem. Rabindranath Tagore was the recipient of the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 and was a noted artist and musician as well as a poet. He was born and lived in Calcutta in India for his entire life, which was then under British rule. This poem about quietly attempting to make contact with the universe outside of yourself. The paper boats themselves act like Tagore's poems. He does not know to whom they will travel, nor what they will mean to his readers, but in his dreams they take on a life of their own. Let's go. Day by day, I float my paper boats one by one down the running stream. In big black letters, I write my name on them and the name of the village where I live. I hope that someone in some strange land will find them and know who I am. I load my little boats with shiuli flowers from our garden and hope that these bloom of the dawn will be carried safely to land in the night. I launch my paper boats and look into the sky and see the little clouds setting their white bulging sails. I know not what playmate of mine in the sky sends them down the air to race with my boats. When night comes, I bury my face in my arms and dream that my paper boats float on and on under the midnight stars. The fairies of sleep are sailing in them, and the lading is their baskets full of dreams. There we go. Thank you very much for joining me for another Friday reading vlog, double Friday reading vlog. And I'll see you all again on Wednesday for the wrap up of the books that I've read this month. Goodbye, say bye, David.
Bye.
Bye.